Steve-0.
What's the word?
Man, this was the best night of the playoffs. Two
Bar none.
incredible endings to games with the Lakers and Denver going down to the wire, the Knicks and Philly going down to the wire, and Orlando kind of made it interesting against the Cleveland Cavaliers late in their game. So we're just gonna talk about the three games today, kind of review the games for tomorrow, or preview the games for tomorrow, right after the intro.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
All right, welcome to another episode of NBA Central, your number one spot for all things basketball. It's your boy, Big Bro. We got Steve-0 in the building, man. Y'all would not believe how fast I was driving home from work to try to go live at the end of this game, boy. It takes me usually about an hour to get home. I got home in 47 minutes flat. But Jamal Murray, he called game. My man said no overtime today as the Lakers lose at the buzzer to the Denver Nuggets in Denver, 101-99. And it was just basically a night of the stars stepping up in that fourth quarter, Steve-0.
Yeah, it was lit. Like that was probably the last 2 minutes was probably the best 2 minutes I've seen in the last few years. Like that was a amazing battle down and forth. You had both sides going backwards and forth. Of course, early in the game, you had AD. Looked like he was giving, not even look like he was giving Joker the business for most of the game. He was getting his way in and outside, finished with 32 and 11. But there was just times in that third quarter when I just seen lapses, and I was like, man, they going you can't play around, you can't play with your food when it comes to this team. And it came back and hit him right them in the butt. Like I said, that last 2 minutes, they were just trading shots. It was LeBron, it was Joker, it was Jamal, it was AD, backwards and forth. And then when it came down to the final shot, Jamal called game.
Man, Joe, like every time it looked like the Lakers were going to put them away. Even Bron was out there like, look, fam, I'm not passing this ball. I'm going to shoot this three. He hit back-to-back threes, layup after layup, D-Lo, layups. I mean, every time it was like, man, this is a crazy ending to a basketball game, especially after the end to that Knicks-Phillies game, which you'll get to later. But, man, I want to talk about AD. He came out and started the game I think he was 14 for 15 to start the game. And then he went ice cold basically from the third quarter forward to be 100. What did he score in the second half? Because he went crazy in the first half.
I think it was in like the second half. He scored, I want to say 14.
Because he ended up with 32 points and 11 rebounds and a block, but he did have 4 turnovers. And what really hurt him tonight was foul trouble. I think that's what lost the Lakers the game when he had to go to the bench in the third quarter, and then he had to watch the Lakers all the way to midway through the fourth quarter. He lost all his rhythm. The only player that didn't really show up for the Lakers tonight, Steve-0, was Rui Hachimura. Everybody else did their jobs. Even Austin Reeves, even though he went 1 for 5 from 3, he was hitting big shots. He hit a big shot, step back baseline jumper in the fourth quarter. The Lakers 13 for 30 for 3. And you know another thing, Steve-0, 10 for 13 from the free throw line. It's like the first time I've seen the Lakers shoot less than 20 free throws in 3 years.
Not for real. Especially that last game. We know the discrepancy. Last game was like 15-7, or 15-6 of that nature. So, but to me, it was, I don't know, like I feel like Reeves should have gave him a little bit more. I don't think 9 points was enough.
It wasn't.
Of course, Rui Hachimura, he didn't step as well. You cannot have a 3-5 game in this current day, and especially in that third quarter lapse. That's where you seen the production picked up by a lot from Aaron Gordon, finishing with 14-7, alongside with picking it up. I don't know how he doing it. With
Joker.
All the turnover. No, Porter. Well, with all the things he got going on in his personal life right now, for him to be hooping right now, he hooping, finishing with 22 and 9. So he's not only just being a shooter, he playing defense and he getting rebounds and he making shots.
He hit a big shot to tie the game up before
Six
Jamal
for
Murray.
10. 6 for 10 from 3. So you getting that as well as
9
you
boards.
got a 9 points and you got 9 boards. I mean, and of course Christian came in and gave you that 10 points extra that just put you over the hump. It was probably the difference maker in a game like this. But
Honestly, it was the energy from him as well as Contavious Caldwell Pope. It might not show up in the sheet, but the defense that he was playing down the stretch was big. But we cannot
yeah,
ignore Nikola Jokic. Joker
he
was he had to work on both ends of the court, especially the way Anthony Davis started the game, which led to him starting slow offensively. But 9 for 16 with 20 boards, 10 assists, a 20-point, 20 rebound, triple double for Nikola Jokic. And I saw a stat that said that like he's one of 4 people to do it in the history of the NBA, and he's already done it 4 times in the playoffs. That's bananas, bro.
he's one of the coldest people I've ever seen in my life.
It's crazy.
He's one of the most skillful players I probably ever laid my eyes on in this game, and that's saying something. To
Now,
let
Jamal,
this man,
go ahead.
just to let this man come out here and not only give you 27, to finish with 20 and freaking 10, and you're not an athlete like that is crazy.
Mm-hmm. 20, and 10 for him tonight with the triple double. Shout out to Nikola Jokic. Now Jamal Murray struggled all night, but you can tell that that coach just has ultimate faith in his 1-2 punch of Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, because it was just pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll to end the game. And then of course a couple of ISOs. And Murray finished with 20 points on 24 shots, but none bigger than that game-winning fall away baseline jumper over Anthony Davis to win the game. And it's crazy that Anthony Davis had to kind of lay on the floor while the team celebrated around him.
Bro, I was in his faces and they was like, bro, he finna be hurt. He finna be out for the next 3 games because of that. But it was it's nothing new. I mean, we've seen him hit big shot before, especially in the playoffs. So he made for this moment. And it was just, I think the fact that he got it over on that side against the defender that is AD, that was a tough shot to make, and it was all net. That was a good shot. And this is the type of moments you live for in playoffs. This is what make playoffs a little bit more fun to me. You know, of course, I love seeing more of the basketball side of the game that I feel like is going to more defensive side, which is kind of why I look forward to the playoffs, because you see more defense. Because as y'all know, it's kind of look like it's stripping away from us year after year. But these are the type of games that make it a little bit more easy, and it kind of give you a little bit of nostalgia of that big time feeling that we felt growing up watching.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So we'll get into the comments real quick. Steve-O, can you press them for me before we get into the earlier games of the night?
B-Dog saying, man, oh man, what a night of basketball. You ain't never lied about that, bro. The guy Derek said, yo, what up? What's good game? Good ass game tonight. It was definitely a good ass game.
Absolutely.
JDH in the building said Lakers are done. We're in the Joker era. Nuggets will repeat. No one will win in a 4 or 7-game series, including the Celtics.
Okay, now JDH, I'm just gonna assume that stands for James Daniel Harrison. But hey, you know,
you gonna change this nigga name every time you say this man name.
At the end of the day, man, the Lakers put up a huge fight, and we'll get into Vidal's comment next because it's similar to what I'm going to talk about. LeBron James impressed the hell out of me tonight, man. Like, he really impressed me tonight, and every time I watch him do things like the things that he did tonight, I'm like, man, if you still hating on LeBron, you just a hater. Like, there's no reason to not appreciate what you're seeing from this man. 9 for 19 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. 2 of them was back to back in the fourth quarter. He did miss a big free throw down the stretch, but that is what it is. And he also had, and he had 8 rebounds and 12 assists. He did miss a big three after the player fell down right in front of him. That would have basically iced the game. But he did have 12 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 26 points, 38 minutes. I mean, like, what more can you ask for from a man that's almost 40 years old, man. Like you've never really seen this. I don't care what nobody said about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Vince Carter or anybody else that played more than 20 years. You've never seen this before. I'm mad C-Dub is not here, so because he'd be hating right now.
Bro, that man, I see that man steal the ball, take off on the brink, and then just yamming on, bro. I'm like, bro, this dude's still 16.
Listen,
he's still 16.
bro. Like when he stole the ball and dunked on Jamal Murray like that, I was like, who does that, bro? I look, if the ball is too far in front of me, I'm 41 years old. I'll be like, look, young fella, you bend over and get that ball. This man is running fast breaks, doing reverse dunks like he did the last week of the season, dunking on Jamal Murray, hitting threes, facilitating out there, calling plays, setting up the defense. You got to give LeBron his credit, as my boy V Dog is talking about. He said, "Yo, Kev Stev0, even though they lost, you must give huge credit to Bron. 21 seasons in, damn near 40. He'll be at the start of next season. He is still dominant as hell when he's healthy." That is absolute facts, bro. And honestly, we're not LeBron. I don't think LeBron is the GOAT, but I'm not mad at people who do.
No, for real. He's definitely lived up to the hype, and I give him a lot of credit because it's a certain amount of pressure it takes to be labeled the next guy or the next Mike at the age of 16, man. Pretty much live up to it.
Pretty much, he surpassed expectations. I don't care what nobody's talking about.
He surpassed expectation at this point. Yeah.
And V Dog continuing his LeBron's thoughts. Bron just can't carry you 24/7 anymore, but don't let that fool you. He can still do it in a few games in a row, but far less in between, not as often as he once did. The real thing is, again, if AD didn't get into foul trouble, the Lakers win this game tonight. That's just the bottom line.
You can't get 5 fouls, bro.
Yeah, if he, because he was doing everything right. That man was hitting fadeaways, layups, blocking shots, making his free throws. Again, he didn't make his threes.
I was about to say, making a life hell for Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon wasn't having a good game till probably the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Gordon ended up with 5 for 10, 14 points. But again, man, just Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, that core, they're going to give you 15 to 20 points each a game. And then, Joker can give you 30 and 20, which what he basically did tonight. And they're only going, 9 deep, 8 deep, 9 deep. So Denver is a well-coached team, and the Lakers can't play mistake basketball. They did have 14 turnovers. They got to play mistake-free. Now, I will say this before we move on, Steve-O. The Lakers going to get every single call in L.A. on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Every single call. They only shot 13 free throws tonight. That's not going to happen again. And the Lakers looked reasonably tired playing out there in that altitude in Denver. That's a different type of home court advantage for the Denver Nuggets when they're playing at home and teams just not ready for that high altitude, that thin air, and it showed tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I don't even think they shot as many threes as they did the last game. They was definitely winded, and that's just be expected. But I think this is definitely a game.
D'Angelo Russell stepped up.
That was a turnaround game for him. They definitely, and I feel like he get a bad rap. I think a lot of people try to hate on him, and he's probably one of their best players over there. So shout out to him for finishing with 23 points and getting 6 on 6 on top of that. But besides that, you're going back to LA. Hopefully, usually this is the game you try to win to go back with the momentum to at home court. But looking at this man's face right now on the TV screen, he a bit pissed. So I'm eager to see what the Lakers gonna do in that third game.
And so one last thing, just Jamal Murray, man, 6 for 8 in the fourth quarter, 14 points. Like after just playing an awful game, shout out to him for closing out strongly. I did have somebody talking to me recently, like, man, it's kind of strange that Jamal Murray has never been an all-star. But like, I can't necessarily agree with that, just considering his career in the Western Conference. He wasn't going to get it over Dame Lillard or Curry, and he wasn't going to get voted in all those years that he was injured. And even this season with SGA and Luka Doncic rising to the occasion, I just don't see a season in which he could be considered a true all-star.
It's tough being in the West at the guard position. There's a lot of guards over there, so it's a lot of competition you got to go up against on a nightly basis and on every year. So if he's in the East, easily would be a multiple time All-Star, but because he on the West and there's so many guards over there, even like some that's not even in the playoffs on, like De'Aaron Fox, people like that, he still got to go up against that can clear him in certain aspects. But he kind of gets looked down upon. But
Even if
this
he was
this
on
is the
another
time.
team,
Yeah,
Steve-O, where he could score 25 a night, 27 a night, because these other guards with Luka, SGA, De'Aaron Fox, these guys are averaging 30 points plus.
yeah,
That's the
but
big difference.
it's their team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna go backwards tonight. We're gonna go to the Philadelphia Knicks game next, you guys. Appreciate the comments. We got Baki in the building. We see you. What's
What
the
up,
word, my
Baki?
guy? So listen, man. That Knicks game was bananas. Like it, and this is why the Chicago Bulls fans really loved Tom Thibodeau. Because Tom Thibodeau can get a 97-year-old to go out there and play defense.
Oh, my mom.
For real, and hustle. Like he got these guys out there. Hey, they did not care that they were down by 5 points with like, what was it, 40 seconds to go? They were down
Yeah.
five. And these guys came back and won the game in regulation, hit a three, got the steal, hit another three. Like that was a crazy, crazy ending. And the crazy part about it is, Steve-O, before we get into the analysis, is that the 76ers are making it really, really difficult on Jalen Brunson. And the Knicks
Yeah.
are still grinding out wins. Jalen Brunson with another awful night, 8 for 29, after I think going like, the same types of numbers the other day. And they still won the game because of grit and hustle. Like players like Bojan Bogdanovic, Miles McBride coming in, taking care of business.
Uh-huh.
Isaiah Hartenstein not barely missing a shot, getting timely rebounds. Like
Josh
Jesus,
Josh Hart losing his mind in the first half.
the whole game again. Josh Hart with another double, 21 points and 15 rebounds. 15 rebounds, and he's not
15
even a
rebounds.
forward. They
Okay.
got him starting at the power
Smart.
forward.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, OG Anunoby hitting timely shots. The Knicks are grinding out wins, games that they have no business winning.
Because, bro, any other time Maxey and Joel Embiid scores 30 plus points, they're winning that game.
Listen,
They're winning that game.
listen. Like, what
And
are you?
the way they won that game, they literally scratched and called and said, "We want this game more than you do."
Well, I mean, honestly, bro. So right now, the Philadelphia 76ers have filed a grievance. Let me pull up the article against the NBA. Nick Nurse is saying that before that scuffle happened where they stole the ball on the inbound, that he looked at the ref and called timeout. So this is what he said. Let me just read what he said. The first thing is, this is Nick Nurse. Obviously they score. They hit that first three, right? We take a look at getting it in quick. We don't get it in quick. I call a timeout, Nurse said. Referee looked at me, ignored me, went into Maxey. I called a timeout again. Then the melee started. So he's saying that when they passed the ball in to Maxey, he tried to call a timeout. I understand them
Twice.
not giving him that timeout because as soon as Maxey touched the ball, they smacked it out of his hand.
Yeah.
Like that, there was no way they're gonna give you a timeout right there. But prior to when they got the ball out of bounds, he tried to call a timeout and they didn't give it to him. They were trying to advance the ball, but they did not give him the timeout. And he said he watched the film and he was clearly calling a timeout, but the referees did not give it to him.
I was just about to say, who had the camera? Show the clip. Show the clip because I want to see it because it's very evident if, especially, he was where he's positioned on the court. The ref was, he was right behind the ref, if I'm not mistaken, or either face looking dead at him. So he saw him. To me, I'm with him. He saw him. So like, if it's on anything going thing, they should get
On
it. But
tape.
at the end of the day, there is nothing they should do. Ain't nothing
They're
he
not
can
gonna
do
get.
about it.
They're not gonna get the win. They're not about to vacate the
Yeah.
the, the win. So all he gonna get is a my
Human
bad.
error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final 2 minutes report. You know how the NBA do it. So the Sixers are going back home after losing tonight, and Joel Embiid got the right mentality. He's on record saying we're gonna win this series. We're gonna win this. We know what we got to fix. We did a better job today, so we're gonna fix it. We're the better team, and we're going to keep fighting. So Thursday, game 3. they got to put their money where their mouth is, Joe,
Nah,
because
for real.
at the end of the day, the Philadelphia 76ers had an opportunity to win 2 games on the road, and they didn't. And now they find themselves down 0-2, and they cannot lose on Thursday. Just the numbers from the 76. Well, we'll go with the Knicks first, and then we'll go to the
But
76ers. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, what did you feel about Buddy Hield only getting 14 minutes tonight?
Again, like, you don't trade for a Buddy Hield, because we talked about this in game 1. You don't trade for Buddy Hield and not allow him to do what he does. He's your shooter. He really is. And I know he's coming off the bench, but he's your shooter. And there's no reason for him not to be getting the opportunities. Especially with Nicholas Batum, 38 years old, or however old he is, playing 32 minutes. You gotta do better. You gotta do better.
Like Kyle Lowry playing high minutes as well.
Kyle Lowry's
33.
starting. But
I'm just saying.
It's a defensive thing for Kyle Lowry, though. Kyle Lowry's going to give you everything defensively. I'm not sure if Buddy Hield's going to give that to you.
I mean, I feel you, but like in certain situations, especially in that third quarter, if you're you need shooters out there, and I feel like that's something they could have used. But
you're right, and this
I
is
just
another
feel
case
like
of the others.
14. Yeah, 14 minutes is just too low.
It's not enough. He needs to be playing 20 plus minutes, and he needs to be getting up 5 or 6 threes a game. Historically, this dude is on pace to at least break Steph Curry's 3-point records if he plays, 15 or 20 years. But that's another conversation for another day.
And another quick question: do you think because they don't really go deep into their depth, is that gonna cost them? Because they're only playing 3, especially today. They only play 3 players off the bench.
Yeah, it's going to cost them, because the 3 players you played off the bench besides Nicholas Batum, nobody played more than 15 minutes. So there has to be an adjustment. And when they get back home, that home cooking is going to help. I anticipate that Buddy Hield's going to be in better rhythm. And even your Kelly Oubre's and Tobias Harris's are going to play better basketball, even though Tobias Harris played a solid game tonight, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. But you need more from Kelly Oubre. 2 for 7 is not going to cut it. You need more from Kyle Lowry, even though it's not his game. He's not a scorer anymore. But you definitely need your bench to give you more than just 10 points.
Yeah.
You definitely need that.
Especially if we're going to play 3 people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, same thing happened on the other end. Tom Thibodeau only played 3 people off his bench as well. He just got –
But he got more.
Yeah, they just went out there and got it. They took it from him.
Yep.
All right, so the other game tonight was and it was happening at the same time as the Knicks and Philly game, was Orlando versus Cleveland. Nobody's really watching this series. Let's be 100.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, it's hard to watch because you're just seeing a young Orlando team that's just struggling to find ways to score. Like, there's nobody shooting efficiently. I'm just naming them off. Paulo 9 for 20. Jonathan Isaac 1 for 7. Franz Wagner 5 for 17. Harris 5 for 10. Suggs 2 for 5. I believe he ended the game. I don't know if he returned, but he did get injured in the game, so I don't know if he returned. But besides that, you got 10, 12 points from your bench off Whitmo and 6 points from Carter. Carter is all those people, I just want to say, for all those people, all those Bulls fans talk shit on we let Will go about. No, he ass.
He is trash. No, what's really standing out to me in this series, and I know Orlando is a pretty solid defensive team. Neither one of these teams have scored 100 points in either one of the games.
Nope.
In either one of the games, it's just some grind them out. Paolo looked solid today. They tried to make it interesting, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't a good game. It wasn't even entertaining. It's just you just looked up like, okay, that game's over.
But what I am noticing is they're slow games because they're free throw games. The last game, I believe, Orlando ended with 30 free throws attempts,
and they got 26 tonight.
Yeah, both teams ended with 26 free throws total tonight.
And honestly, if Orlando makes their free throws,
like especially that first game, it was 19 for 30.
Yeah, so like that's just a young team that kind of overachieved this year. I think the two of us had them being a better team this year, even though our contemporaries on this panel was like, yeah, right. But I didn't expect them. I didn't expect them to not be a play-in team, but for them to be the 6th seed, they're going out. Well, the 5 seed. They got to take care of business at home in their next game because they're not playing. It's not like Cleveland's just outplaying them completely. Because Cleveland's looking bad too, shooting under, about 40% from the field, 30% from three,
Yep.
60% from the free throw line tonight. That's just not good. 15 turnovers. So Orlando has an opportunity to get a win, but they got to do better themselves, shooting under 40% and 9 for 35 from three. They look like our Chicago Bulls if you want to be 100 in
Yeah.
terms of the output that they're putting out there.
Yeah, team that can't shoot threes are not getting timely turn. I mean, they're getting turnovers. They're both probably averaging nearly around the same double digit turnovers, which is around 15. But yeah, it's just a young team, just can't find their way to score. Like you said, the Cavs are not running away with it per se, but they're clearly a team that's been in the playoffs before, clearly know how to outsmart them and outplay them to some degree, and that's just what's happening right now. So, like I said, like we just said, nobody's really watching this series. It's pretty boring. You was hoping to see if you could see maybe I mean, you can still expect a big game out one of these young stars as possible. So I think that's the only thing we looking at when it comes to Orlando's side. But yeah, hopefully we see if it's a difference or if anything, if they're going to come in at their home court in Orlando, maybe it gives them a little pep in their step. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a sweep, and every game till that sweep is going to be somewhat of the same.
All right, before we get to the games tomorrow, let's get to some of the comments. JDH saying, Bron proving he can lose just as good at 40 as he could at 30. That's hilarious. Baki, what's up, my guy? Good to see you, my dude. And then we got JDH again. Only so many All-Stars. It's a season-to-season thing. V-Dog. Knicks ain't the same sorry old Knicks anymore. Honestly, they the same Knicks. It's just
They
they
got
just
some fight
grinding
in
it
them.
out. Yeah, they
Yeah.
grinding it out. I mean, because without Julius Randle, the Knicks, I don't anticipate them going too far in the playoffs. But it's good to see them get these 2 wins and grind them out. Baki says Bron fans are sickening. The fact that there's so many of them acting like the Nuggets are trash and that Jokic ain't good is a joke. I mean, you can't get caught up in the fandom of Lakers, Bron, the Yankees, Duke. Like, you can't get caught up in none of that type of stuff because at the end of the day, fans are going to be fans. But basketball fans understand that the Denver is the team to beat. They're the champions. They're the defending champions. They've won now 10 in a row versus the Lakers. So anybody that's just ignoring Denver in this situation is just being asinine at this point. JDH says, Nick Nurse is Billy Donovan without the gun. That's hilarious. Nick Nurse got a
Never.
championship, though. He got a
Yeah.
championship, and he's good with the X's and O's. You can't really be mad at Nick Nurse for Tyrese Maxey and them coming up short down the stretch. That's on them. That's not on Nick Nurse. Knicks are different now. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I questioned the Jalen Brunson signing at first, but they solid as hell now. The move for OG helped a lot as well. And honestly, I'm not sure why you even questioned that Jalen Brunson signing because Jalen Brunson is exactly the type of player that Tom Thibodeau wants. A
Mm-hmm.
guard that can create his own shot. If you look at Tom Thibodeau's greatest hits, it's guards that can create their own shot. Derrick
Or
Rose,
playmaker.
yep, Derrick Rose. What's the dunk champion?
They
Nate
wrote
Robinson. Even what's the name? The third.
John Lucas.
John Lucas the third. Like you talking about a
DJ
coach that can,
Augustine.
yeah, DJ Augustine, like a bunch of guards that just come in and do their thing. That's the Tom Thibodeau special.
And you want to hear this LeBron quote?
What's that?
He was just up there in the thing, and he said, "I don't even understand what we have a replay sentence for. To be honest, what the fuck do we even have a replay sentence for? Clearly, you see, um, he said, clearly you see Russell get hit in the face going through that drive. I don't understand why we have a replay for if they're not going to do it."
So if you guys watch the game, LeBron is talking about when he's talking about when D'Lo drove to the basket, right, and
Mm,
shot the shot, and then after the shot was released, he got hit in the face. But according to the rules, that's just what it is. Like what they gonna call a loose ball foul on a shot. That's just not how basketball works, LeBron. And you got a couple of phantom calls yourself tonight, LeBron, on drives to the baskets where they called the foul that you didn't even get touched on. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's unfortunate that somebody that's been playing basketball for 25 years can't lose with grace. Lose with grace, my guy, because you've been the beneficiary of calls going your way throughout your career, including in the playoffs. So just take your loss, man, lick your wounds, and go home and get your wins. That's just the bottom line. The Knicks mess around and make it to the conference finals the way the bracket is. I mean,
Yeah.
they could, but they got a lot of work to do. They're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be able to play like this.
Brunson got to stop playing.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to play like this in the second round. That's just the bottom line. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, Brunson definitely got to get. You got to get way more efficient numbers. I want to say this: you're getting the numbers, but you need way more efficient numbers out of him.
All right, Steve-O. So tonight's in the books. All the road teams have lost every single game so far in the playoffs. Tomorrow we got 3 more game twos. Phoenix versus Minnesota, Indiana versus Milwaukee, Dallas versus the Clippers. And I will be home in time to jump on live with this Dallas versus Clippers game if it's close enough for us to jump on live. Phoenix versus Minnesota, who you got?
I think KD come back with his revenge game, or somebody will, because I don't think they're gonna stand by and let them young lads talk the way they talk, and they gonna want to get a momentum win going back to their crib. So I think I got Phoenix winning this game.
And I'm right there with you with Phoenix. And it better be KD. The way
Yeah,
the way Anthony Edwards is talking real crazy. KD
on
better
my
be the
mama.
one to step up. Obviously I want to see Booker do his thing and the rest of those guys, but I don't want to hear nothing else other than KD had 30 plus at the end of this game tomorrow. All right, so then we got Indiana and Milwaukee. Dame Lillard is well documented at this point. 35 points in the first half, no points in the second half. How you feeling about Indiana versus Milwaukee tomorrow night?
I'm leaning Indiana because I don't think Tyrese Halliburton gonna have the same type of game he had last game. It was a piss poor game by him, and he needs to be way more aggressive on the offensive side than he was last game. Excuse
Oh
me.
yeah,
So I think I got Indiana going. Plus, Aaron. I think Aaron makes more shots than he did last time, and you might get another contribution from others. Maybe Obi Toppin.
yeah. I mean, the others definitely got to step up in this Indiana series because it can't just be Miles Turner and your boy Tyrese Halliburton. Everybody else got to step up as well and take advantage of their opportunities. And then the final game, which is a series that everybody's watching closely, and it was kind of surprising to see Dallas come out as flat-footed as they did. But Dallas and the Clippers, how we leaning tomorrow? I'm not sure if Kawhi's playing or not. I doubt that he will. But even without Kawhi, or with or without Kawhi, how you feeling about Dallas and the Clippers?
I'm kind of expecting the type of game ending how tonight game was. I don't think the Clippers are going to be shooting the amount of the way they were shooting last game. Russ caught fire. Everybody else was shooting at a high level. So I don't think they're going to have a game like that. And therefore, it's going to come down to the final moments, and it's going to come down. Like I feel like tonight is going to come to who's going to close it out. And I'm gonna be seeing if Luka or the other players on the Clippers team, maybe possibly if Kawhi comes back, I'm gonna see what happens. But to me, I think I'm going with Dallas.
Okay, yeah. So we're bucking the trends. Like I think all of us, both of us are picking the road teams, all 3 road teams to win and tie the series is up at
They
1 to
kind of
1.
need it.
Even though no road teams have won, everybody's down 0-2 so far. But tomorrow, if what we're saying is true, we'll have a bunch of 1-1 series. And you already know if the Bulls ain't in it, I need 7 games for every series. I don't care who playing. I want to see 7 games. So great basketball tonight, Steve-O. Great
Bro.
basketball
Do it
tonight.
again tomorrow. Let's go. That's why I
Yes,
like the
sir.
first round. I like that it's every day. It's
Yes.
fun. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm enjoying this first round. I
It's
can't
the
even lie.
most wonderful time of the year, Steve-O. I don't care nothing about Christmas. Nothing about all these different holidays. March Madness leading into NBA playoffs is just a great time
It's a
to be a
different time.
basketball fan. Yeah, and it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And then we got the WNBA starting up soon too. Like it's about to be litty for real, for real. It's about to be litty. So we gonna hit the last couple of comments before we get up out of here. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, share, and then don't forget the rest of the Chi-Town Sports family. This is our NBA Central show, but we do have Chicago Bears, Bulls, Sky, Blackhawks, White Sox, Cubs, Central, and the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys, C-Dub and Bobby. But yeah, man. So V-Dog asked a question, Steve-O, how many more years y'all think Bron continues to play at this level? I think he'll play 2 at the most, maybe 3, depending on Bronny's situation.
2. I think 2 max.
Yeah, and we had this hypothetical conversation about if LeBron is capable of playing to 50, and I honestly believe that he is physically capable of playing to 50, but I think he'll call it 45 at the max. He probably looking at the Tom Brady number.
Yeah.
How old was Tom Brady when he retired?
44, I want to say.
Yeah, so I think he'll be he'll try to get to that range of Tom Brady, one of the other GOATs to play in his respective sport. V-Dog also informs us that Giannis is doubtful tomorrow per Chris Haynes. Giannis needs to be outful. Not doubtful, but outful.
Outful.
You don't need to be playing at all.
You playing with gasoline, folks. I hope somebody needs to stop. And they keep sitting here talking about calves. Ain't no damn calf. We know what's wrong with you, bro.
It's your Achilles, bro. And then you're gonna be like Boobie Miles if you don't quit playing games.
My mama.
Boobie! You want to win? Put Boobie in. All right, Steve-O, you got anything else for the game?
Nah.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all for staying up late with us. We daily content, so you're gonna see some stuff tomorrow. Don't forget to check out Hayes' video earlier talking about possible superstars on the move. It's gonna be some player movement this off season, more so than it was last season. So don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and we're gonna holler at y'all next time. Peace.
This